Communication Error.
Welcome to episode 92 of Communication Error, a gaming debate podcast where we may not always agree, but if we listen to what one another has to say, maybe we'll be able to fix our communication error. I'm one of your hosts, Cheesy.
Yeah.
How are you, man?
I'm all right. I'm tired.
Yeah.
We're in the thick of it now. It's March, so busy season is upon us.
Yep.
I have a deadline coming up, not next week, but the week after. I think. I hope. I don't know.
Okay.
I got about 6 weeks left, and then I can sleep.
And I was gonna say, what do you do to celebrate? Do you just sleep?
I take off the rest of the week, so I don't know. I think it's a Monday this year, so I might take like Tuesday through Friday off, and then
Nice.
I just like sleep, play games, and re-energize,
Mm-hmm.
like the bunny, like the
Yep.
Energizer bunny.
It just keeps going and going.
Yeah.
Well, except for it, yeah. I guess it does. Does it ever re-energize if it's always just going?
Oh, I don't know, it just keeps going and going. That's all. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I did
you have
over
a
the
game?
weekend. I worked.
Yeah. What did you do?
And then I also played Monster Hunter Wilds. Fantastic
Oh, okay.
game.
Yeah.
It's I'm a big Monster Hunter fan. I loved Rise on the Switch, and like I played the series before Rise, and it's just a really good series. It's a great series, and I think it's doing really well right now. I know, like it's meant to be played with people,
Yeah.
and I don't want to. I just want to hunt
Imagine that.
by myself.
Yeah.
So like I don't
That's
know
the
if
most
Crawler. I don't know.
Amiibo thing I've ever heard.
I don't know if Crawler got it, but like he said, he asked if we were getting it, and I said I got it. But I just want to play by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, it's really easy because the hunts are pretty easy. But then like once you get to higher level hunts, like you have to pretty much hunt with other people. I don't want to.
Yeah.
So
I remember, what was it? I think it was the Nintendo Powercast crew had me download like the demo of Monster Hunter. What was the previous one?
Rise.
And I played it with you guys. I didn't really know what I was doing. And then there was a part of me that was like, I don't want to hurt these monsters. Like,
Well,
I don't wanna hurt
you
these
can
things.
catch them. You can catch them.
Okay.
You don't have to kill them, but it's like
I
You
felt
killed them.
very much like Hiccup in that moment. That's like, well, maybe they're being misunderstood. Like, why are we hunting them in the
I don't
first
know.
place?
So like this one has more of a story, and the monsters are kind of like destroying towns and other people, so you kind of have to stop them from doing that.
Uh-huh.
But also like for Monster Hunter, like it was me, Josh, and Crawler. We all were like, we've already like ranked up a lot.
Yeah. And
So
I'm
when
here
you-
with
when
like
you
a
bring it-
stick.
Yeah, when you bring a new person, like you're just carrying them along. Like that's not a fun way to play with anybody. So you have to pretty much all be like the same rank for
Uh-huh.
it to be fun for everyone. Because if you have
Yeah,
somebody that's really high rank, actually, yeah, because I remember when Rise came out, I played a lot with Josh, Crawler, and then there was this other guy. I don't know who it was, but he was like a super high rank. And he was just like carrying us through the missions. I'm like, this isn't fun. Let me do this myself.
Yeah. I was very confused too how I can like swing around like Spider-Man. And I was like,
Well, they
I
don't have
even
that
know
in the new
how
one.
I'm doing that. Oh, really? Is
Not
that
really.
not a
There
Monster
is, like,
Hunter like gimmick?
No, that was like new for Rise.
Okay.
There are like some bugs that can do it, but it's not. I think I don't remember Rise too much, but I think you could just do it whenever you felt like. This one, I think you have to find like a bug to do it. But no, I just like using my sword, and I don't use the fancy weapons. I don't use like the bow gun or the insect glaive. I just use a sword and a shield, and then I just whack at the monster until it dies. And then I wear its ass as a hat.
I bet that stinks.
But I played like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, and I'm like, oh, I'm doing pretty well. I'm moving pretty like well through this story. And I checked
Mhm.
like the trophy list. You could see how many people got the trophies that I got. And I just got one for a story beat. And I'm like, oh, I don't think that many people have cleared this part of the story yet. And it was like 75%. I'm like way behind everybody.
Well, that's because you don't like stories.
I don't. I don't like story. I
Yeah,
don't pay attention.
we know.
I know the overarching story of this game is like there's a big monster that is terrorizing the indigenous people
Hmm.
and you have to stop it. That's the story. It's not that exciting,
But will you? That's the rest of the story.
but you look cool. Like you get to fight dragons and stuff and you look cool doing it.
While being an asshat.
Yeah, exactly. But Monster Hunter is a great series. I hope Monster Hunter Wilds comes to the Nintendo Switch too.
It probably will.
Or we
I
get
think it is.
You think it is?
Do you don't think it is?
I mean, I think they wanted to. It just might not run on it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. But they will put a Monster Hunter game on Nintendo Switch too because Monster
Mhm.
Hunter Rise did like really well for them.
Oh
So
yeah.
I don't
I mean,
think
they
that they're
even had
going.
like a special edition Switch for it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they had Amiibo for it. So
They have a
Monster
Pro controller too.
maybe,
I think so.
but they had Amiibo. They had all the special edition stuff. So they're not going to leave Nintendo behind.
Yeah.
But what'd you do?
This weekend, so I've been kind of babysitting a lot, just spending time with my daughter. And then it was like a really nice weather, so we went for a walk, and we have this lake that is like near our house and kind of like near a rec center. So just walked. We're actually rewatching Daredevil to prepare for like the new season
Oh, it
or
starts like
the new
tomorrow.
series. Yeah, it's a new series. Um, man, it was so good. Like the Netflix show is really well written. The style of it is really cool. Like for a Marvel show, that being just a Marvel series, not even a movie, they did it right. And I kind of feel like right now Disney, Marvel, all of that is just not the best. It's okay, but it's just lacking what it once was.
I am not excited for Born Again
Why is that?
because the trailer was like, "Hey, look,
Oh,
we are gonna be violent to be violent.
uh-huh.
We can be violent now. This is how violent this show's gonna be."
I mean,
And that's all it was. That's all that trailer was. Was like,
so
look how brutal this is.
yeah, that does kind of worry me a little bit because even though like that is a lot of the first like Daredevil series, uh when they showed Echo and they showed like it being violent and kind of brutal, the rest of the show is not really that way. So that was just enough to sell the trailer. So it does make me kind of worried like is we're only going to get this in like the first episode and then the rest of it
But
is
I
going to
don't
be
want it like I
very
don't need it to be violent and hyper violent and brutal. I don't need it to. I just want it to be a good show. Like I don't want it to only focus on the violence.
No, I get that. My Hannah and I actually had a conversation about that today because there's some shows that she does like that are kind of violent, and then there's other shows where it is violent, but she doesn't like them. And I'm like, what's the difference? And she's like, I think if it's justified, like if we're watching The Boys is just being gory to just be gory and do like the biggest whatever it is that they can do because they can. But with Daredevil, it's like there's a reason for why all the violent stuff is happening. I'm like, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean the boys I kind of fell out of because it just got to be too over the top. Like they were just being violent or they were just doing gore to do gore. Like there wasn't really any reason
Yeah,
behind it.
I
Uh
can't really talk about it probably on this podcast, but season 3 opener where they are inside of a man's
Oh yeah, and
thing.
the one that really turned me off from it was the octopus scene.
Oh, I know what you're talking. Yeah, that one's
That
brutal.
was just horrible. It was just horrible.
And on that note, should we do some server maintenance?
Yeah, leave some 5-star reviews on Apple, Spotify. Follow us on YouTube. It's Instagram. Follow us on Spotify as well. You can follow us there. You leave comments on YouTube and Spotify. And we'll do community patch notes episodes if we get some comments. But and then also follow me on my personal stuff, YouTube or Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, and the Nintendo podcast. We did do an episode last week. Yeah, it was before the Pokemon Presents.
Oh, nice. How'd
That
that
we
go?
didn't get anything right.
Do you need to
Besides
talk
saying
about it real quick?
Besides being led, okay. Well, okay. So our topic, Cheesy doesn't know, but I mean he kind of knows. It's talking about fandoms. We're gonna be talking about fandoms, and I
Yeah,
think
to clear that confusion up real quick, we had two choices of topics that we were going to talk about,
It
and
was
then you were like,
mobile
"I'll just surprise
games.
you." So I did kind of know, but I didn't know which one we were going to talk about. So
it was mobile
Fandoms.
games or fandoms. And
Yeah.
I do think the fandom thing does lead into what happened last week with Pokemon and Pokemon Presents. I personally, I'm excited for Pokemon Legends ZA. I think it looks fine. I don't think like it looks as bad as people are saying it looks.
Doesn't look
Jeeb.
better. Doesn't look better.
It looks better. It looks better. You need to look at comparisons of Scarlet and Violet and Legends ZA. And Legends ZA looks so much better.
Okay. Okay. I mean, yes. No, I hear what you're saying. It does look better compared to the previous games. However, like,
What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to look like?
I mean, it would be kind of nice to have, I guess, like Breath of the Wild, like to look that polished.
I mean, I think
It
it
doesn't
looks
look.
fine.
I don't think it doesn't look polished.
Have you ever played any other JRPGs ever?
Live
They
Alive.
look pretty much like that.
Live Alive looks good.
I mean, that's HD 2D.
I
That's
will-
a different art
yeah.
style. That's
I
a
mean,
different
it's-
art style. But if you
Okay.
play like Dragon Quest or
Why can't it look like Monster Hunter?
because the Switch can't run Monster Hunter.
Does it? It doesn't.
Monster Hunter Wilds, the new one.
Well, no, but yeah, but Rise, like that ran fine.
I mean,
right?
that looked good,
Yeah.
but like it's, I don't know. It looks fine. It's a Pokemon game. Like, who cares how it looks?
Oh, I mean, that's the confusing part about all of this and like getting into fandoms. I think is like, especially with Pokemon, I'll play it because I know I'm gonna have a fun time with it. And if it's fun, like that's what should matter. I just think the Pokemon Company, one of the biggest companies ever, should be able to like make their games look a little better. I will say with ZA, I am a little.
But nobody can explain what they mean by better. What does better mean? What
Come
does it
on,
mean?
man.
What does it mean? It should look better. What does that mean?
I guess it's subjective, but I mean, I think even you, the troll, think that they should look better.
It looks fine.
It looks
better.
fine.
It
doesn't
looks better than Scarlet and Violet for sure. It looks better than
Yes, but like, those are. Game Freak has always done handheld gaming,
yes.
so why can't they make it look like console gaming?
Because that's the direction they chose. I don't understand what people were
This is
expecting.
amazing. This is amazing to me that you are the one that is like, no, yeah, just sitting back and taking it. When usually you're the one who is like fighting back. For
I don't remember.
such
I
things.
don't remember ever complaining about graphics for anything. Because graphics don't matter. They really don't.
I mean, I agree. Okay, I agree with you. And I'm not being like pushed back into a corner. I do believe this because there's many different games I can think of that are fun where the graphics are not the best. I guess, yes, they have made improvements. It does look better compared to their last games. It just feels like over a certain period of time, it should just have like a new, fresh coat of paint. And I don't feel like it has that.
I think it does. I
You
think it
you don't
does.
you don't feel like it feels like the previous?
Well, I'm sure they wanted to keep it in that like kind of style because that's the direction they chose for their Switch games.
So for fandoms, do you think, and you're probably more into the Pokemon community than I am, are the fans happy about first what was announced at Pokemon Day and then what ZA looks like? Or are they wishing that they would do better?
I think the true fans are happy and excited because they like the new battle mechanic, how the new battle mechanics look. Like it's
Yeah.
more real time as
Hmm.
opposed to turn based.
Hmm.
They love mega evolutions, so they're probably happy that mega evolutions are back. You have like, all right, you have people like Wood Beat 'em Up and RGT saying like these Pokemon games are the ugliest things they've ever seen in their entire lives. And I really don't think they even like Pokemon.
Yeah, that's
Like,
probably fair.
I mean, I'm in my 30s, mid 30s. They're in their mid 30s. Like, they probably grew out of it, and that's okay.
But that's part of the fandom I think that we need to talk about. And I don't want to just like harp on Pokemon, but I do think that
We are a
it's
Pokemon
a
podcast now. This is 3 episodes in a row.
it is a huge fandom. And it's okay to admit when a series isn't for you anymore. But I think that's the hard part is like you are a fan from the beginning and it meant something to you. And then when it just doesn't resonate with you anymore, it's like you're still trying to hold on to what was instead of what it is now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, well, even if you go back to like what it was, you're seeing it through like nostalgia goggles.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you were to look at the Game Boy games,
Yeah.
like if say you would go back in time and show little Johnny what the games were going to look like in 30 years compared to what it looked like on the Game Boy, like your little child brain would be blown
Yeah.
because it didn't matter what it looked like. It mattered like it was fun catching monsters. It was fun training your team. It was fun, battling the Elite Four, catching Mewtwo. Like the gameplay itself was enough to carry the series. And like I really do believe that the internet is the vocal minority of people. Like the people that are negative scream the loudest. So like
Do you know this from experience?
I do
Or?
because I do it. I say things to and I guarantee like dude, it's all about the internet economy. Negativity gets more clicks
Yeah.
than positivity. So
Yeah.
of course RGT is gonna put out a video that says Pokemon graphics suck or like Pokemon Legends EA sucks. Like, of course. That's gonna get
Mhm.
clicks and more interaction. But I think if you truly are a fan of a series, not just Pokemon, like I think you could look past graphics. If the games don't run well, I mean that's a different conversation. We don't know if it's going to run well.
Yeah.
But even if they don't run well, like I still had fun with Scarlet and Violet.
Oh yeah. I had fun with Arceus.
Yeah, Legends Arceus is one of my favorite games on the Nintendo Switch.
I will say, like, even as a fan of that game, one thing that is concerning to me with ZA, and just because I don't know what it is that they're doing yet, I liked in Arceus that it was these different environments that you would see the different like Pokemon typings in, and now it all just seems like it's in the city. And so I want that to be exciting, and I understand that having it in a smaller area is probably going to make the game run better. But there was something so exciting about, honestly, kind of feeling like this was Breath of the Wild Pokemon, and going through all of these different like the like beach area, the what wasn't there like a volcano area,
Yeah, and there's
uh
like snow and yeah, there's different biomes, which
biomes. Thank you.
I I am interested to see how, because the whole like concept of this game of Legends EA is they're building up Lumio City to have Pokemon and humans live together.
Hmm.
So, I mean, we saw the little like gates where you would go through, where you're going to go through, and that's where the Pokemon are. Maybe they
Yeah.
will have different biomes because, I mean, if you're going to have like an ice Pokemon, like you're probably gonna have like an ice biome somewhere
Yeah.
in the city. I mean, it's a
Hmm.
weird concept, like because when we think of a city, that's not what we think of.
We think pizza parties.
We think pizza parties. I understand a lot of people are concerned about that, and I get it, but it's we didn't see much of it, so we don't know what that's
That's
gonna actually
true.
be.
Yeah.
But I'm fascinated. Yeah, I'm interested in that. And if it is just like a boring one city, like
Hmm.
then yeah, that's a conversation. But I feel like graphics are at the lowest end. Like the
Hmm.
bottom, the very, so it's like performance is at the very bottom, and then it's graphics, and then everything else is above it. But people are getting hung up on the graphics.
Yeah. I get it. I get it. I think to kind of keep talking about fandoms and steer this conversation in a different direction, do you think that fandoms help with product? Do you think that like these companies even listen to the fans? Should they listen to the fans?
I think I don't think they should listen to the fans because you keep saying that things are art, right? Like these games are art,
Yeah.
and even we not even just video games, but like we were talking about Daredevil and we were talking about like Marvel. I think they kind of lost themselves. They're trying to please the fans more, and it doesn't work. Like it's not
Mm,
working. I think they should just try to do what they want to do and see what resonates. And that's how
yeah.
I think games should be. Like just like if I were to say, hey, I want a Mario game that is just an open world in the Mushroom Kingdom, and that's what they give me. Like that's not gonna be that exciting. I like when they surprise me with something.
Yeah. But you're
Like,
always asking for stuff.
well, I want a new 3D Mario,
Yeah.
but I want them to decide what to put in the 3D Mario. Like it's been 8 years.
Yeah. I go back and forth because I think fandoms. First, we should clarify what fan is short for, which is fanatic. And so you have that with sports, you have that
They're
with
all Phillies
music, you
fans.
have, unfortunately, yeah, I got it. I got it. I don't live in Philly, but I understand what you're saying.
Philly,
Philly fanatic.
the
Yeah.
Philly
Yeah. Yeah.
Fanatics. That's
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
that's the baseball team.
So I go back and forth because it's like, it's great to see people love something so passionately and like that is their thing. And then you find other people that love it just as much. But then I always feel like if you get too deep into a fandom, there's always people that are like, thinking that they are better than the said product or company that is making the product. And sometimes maybe they need to, listen, but also you're not the one in charge of what needs to happen or what is happening.
And like you're one person. Like everybody in the fandom could have different ideas of what they want to happen.
Yeah.
Like I I like Legend of Zelda. I
Hmm.
want it to stay the open air exploration route, but there's a part of the fandom that doesn't want that.
Hmm.
So like how do these companies try to satisfy the fandom by not
Well, I
like
mean, yeah, according to you, you don't listen to the fans and you
you
just do what
don't.
you want.
You just do what you want. I agree. And it might flop and then you do something else.
I think it's nice if the companies are listening in a way that's like, we know this isn't exactly what you wanted, but like we're gonna throw this little thing in for you. And I'm thinking of Severance, and I don't want to talk about that because I know a lot of our listeners are either watching it or don't watch it and don't want to get into spoiler territory. But
They
the
probably want to sever
creators,
themselves for
the
that
creators,
for that person to listen to it, and then they'll drive them crazy. Listen to our podcast. That's
yeah.
all they do. They just
Oh
have to
my
listen to our
God, the
podcast.
torture. Yeah, but I think the Severance creators are so smart that they know that their audience, like the type of audience that is watching their show, is also smart. And so they want you to have a conversation around what you think may be happening, but actually it's this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to try to, I guess, um, predict what your fans are gonna want.
Yeah.
But like as we see it every day. Whenever something gets announced, like there's half the people hate it, half the people love it.
Right.
So like how do you bridge that gap?
Hmm.
It without just doing what you want and seeing what hits and what doesn't.
Hmm.
Because what I'm thinking, like I'm going back to like Disney and Marvel and stuff.
Yeah.
They've had so many flops
Hmm.
recently, and it feels like they're just trying to cater to what they think fans want.
Which was more.
Yeah, well, I don't know about
They
that.
thought, well, no, I mean that's what started it, is they, after the Infinity Saga, that's when we started getting Disney Plus content. And so they thought the audience was like eating it all up, and they made so much money off of Endgame. Like, how can you stop that train from rolling? You got to keep pushing out more. So they would make content, and then they made so much that they would have one team working on this movie while another team is working on a series, but they don't even know how like the first thing ends. So like how can the second team go and write this project if they don't even know how the connected universe is connecting?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that they were trying to cater to what they thought the fans wanted, and now it's flopping. So why don't you just make things that you want to make, and it might flop, but it's already flopping anyway.
Mhm.
Same with like the Star Wars, the sequel trilogy. Like everybody hates the sequel trilogy. Apparently, I don't know. Give it 20 years, everybody's gonna love it. But we had Rise of well, no, was Force Awakens. Everybody was like,
Mhm.
okay, that was decent. It was just like a remake of A
A
New
New Hope.
Hope.
Mhm.
And then Last Jedi came out, and a lot of fans didn't like that. And then they're like, all right, well, we got to pivot for Rise of Skywalker,
Mhm.
and then that sucked because they were trying to retcon everything. So it's like just make the story you want to make. Like who cares what your fans tell you they want? Like make what you want to make. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. They'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll tell you, and then that's where it feels like there's not a lot of risk today because they
It's
have
all
to.
algorithms and
Yes, it is.
so the the fandom is saying they want this one thing, so that's in their algorithm. Like you can even see it on some of these titles. They've like weird SEO titles
For like
for like
shows.
shows and movies.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to hit all that SEO
Yeah.
instead of just making a story that you want to make.
Yeah.
They're trying to hit the algorithm. That's games are doing that too. Like we're seeing that in certain games.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, like it's weird. It's weird because like it's fun being a fan. There's like this TikTok sound out there. It's like a poem. And it was like it's fun being a fan of something. Like because there's other people that are also a fan of it. So like you're trying to learn things because you want to, not because you have to. So being a fan like is fun.
Mm-hmm.
It is fun. But I mean I find myself slipping into the negative side of it, and I know the internet does too. Like can't we just enjoy things?
Yeah, you would think.
Like there's so much content out there. If you don't like Pokemon anymore, you could play something else. Just play something else. Just don't ruin it for other people. Like saying people are dumb for not being excited for Legends EA, which I'm pretty sure that's what RGT said. Like that's not cool. That's just not cool. Or even, I'm a Nintendo fan. And whenever I make videos about liking Nintendo, somebody is in there like trying to rip me down.
Yeah, let's talk about Nintendo fans. How do you feel about them? Because you and I are both in the Nintendo community, and so we see both sides of, the people that do enjoy Nintendo. I'm only talking about the people that do enjoy Nintendo, because I think even on this podcast, sometimes you have a voice that is telling Nintendo what they should do. And then there's the other side where it's just like enjoying it.
But there's nothing to enjoy right now. I mean, I enjoy more of Nintendo things, like more of certain Nintendo things than other things. Like I enjoy Mario more than Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I guess I am part of the problem. But it is tough being like a fan of Mario and you have to wait so long for a new entry.
Mm-hmm.
Like that sucks. And of course, like I'm gonna be frustrated for that. I think that's okay. I mean, I think it's also okay for Pokemon fans to be frustrated about the quality of the game. It's just hard to. I guess now I'm gonna get somebody's gonna say I'm like backtracking.
Yeah,
which I probably am.
Yeah. So,
but like, I mean, it's okay.
With the Mario game, because there hasn't been one out for so long, do you still enjoy Mario? Do you only like the idea of Mario, or do you think that it's time for you to move on because you just are not satisfied with the lack of product?
No, I think I enjoy Mario when I get it. Like I love Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Wonder was fantastic. I love 3D. Like they had 3D World come out. They had New Super Mario Bros. U, which I even enjoyed. New Super Mario Bros. U. I know not everybody did. Mm-hmm. I like the games for sure. I just want there to be more of it, more content. Just like I like Zelda. I like Zelda. I like Zelda a lot. But we have been getting a decent amount because I don't complain about Zelda. We get a decent amount of Zelda stuff.
Yeah, I mean, every year is supposed to be a Zelda something.
But we have Mario. Actually, next Monday when we record is Mario Day.
Yeah.
And if they don't do anything for Mario, I'm gonna be like, it's Mario's 40th anniversary, so
Mhm.
it's a big anniversary. If they don't do anything for it, I'm gonna be like, well, that sucks. Yeah,
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like there'll probably be some like collaborations, but then we get all information about Switch 2 April 2nd. So it's like, how much do you want to reveal of your like new Mario game if they were to do it on Mario Day and then also show it for April 2nd or don't show it at all? You know what
yeah,
I
I don't
mean?
know because everybody thought that we are gonna get a direct in February, and we didn't get a direct in February.
So that's the other thing I'm talking about is like the Nintendo fandom of like, I mean, that's a different conversation that we've already had is like leakers and stuff, but the fandom attaches to these kind of things. And then it's like, you just, when you get attached to something and it doesn't happen, you should blame yourself for expecting that thing to happen or what?
When you assume
Yeah. When you
you
assume you
make an
make
ass out of
out of,
yourself,
yeah.
that's
Oh,
the
you said
actual.
it.
That's the actual.
Yeah. I was trying to just censor it, but you're good.
No, that's not the real saying, but I like that saying more.
Oh.
You
Oh,
make
I
it.
see what
You
you
make
did
an
there.
ass out of
Yeah,
you
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
We've been cussing a lot. I don't know if that's even a cuss word anymore. I don't know.
Ass.
Listen to this after 10 p.m. You'll be fine. But I think it. So Nintendo, I think people are just antsy for the next thing. I mean,
Always.
today is actually the 8th anniversary of the Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah.
So
I
it
didn't
came
even
out
know
8 years ago.
that.
Breath of the Wild came out 8 years ago. 1-2 Switch came out 8 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, yeah, listeners feel old yet? Like
Snipper clips.
snipper clips. Yeah, I
Yeah.
and it's I feel like it's too long, and everybody's just getting frustrated, and they just want something new.
Yeah, but Johnny, we are like we're gonna be told about it on April 2nd.
But watch it. For Pokemon, I thought Legend ZA was to come out, May, June,
Soon.
and
It
we're
is,
not
yeah.
getting it until like probably November.
Well, that's interesting because Legends did so well in January. Legends Arceus, and
Yeah,
so I kind of thought that they were going to do the same thing.
I think
But I think,
another thing to support that Pokemon fans don't really care about how the games look and perform are the sales numbers.
yeah, I mean,
Like
obviously,
I mean, I doubt there's 25 million people yelling online about how bad the games look.
Mm,
No, they're just trying to enjoy the games.
yeah.
But yeah, I thought Legends ZA was gonna come out. I'm just antsy. I just want a new game. I want a
Mm.
new. I can't wait for Nintendo Switch 2 because like, what if they revealed it in April and they're like, oh, it's not coming out until November?
Is that part of being a fandom, or just part of being a fan that you love the thing so much that you become antsy that you want more of it? It's like you need
Yeah,
your fix. Yeah,
yeah. So like it becomes a part of you. Like
yeah,
clearly,
yeah.
clearly, you too. Like everybody, we all have given. I actually saw a tweet today. I want to see if I can find it. I don't know. It was like it was like an older guy, older
Mm,
than me,
mm.
maybe Josh's age. No, probably older than Josh. It said something like, "Dear Pokemon Company, I have given you all of my disposable income, like since I've been old enough to do it.
Uh,
You gotta fix what's going on with the TCG right now. Sincerely,
oh,
Pokemon fans."
interesting.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So like, people are. fans are passionate, and I think that's okay. Like I mean, I live in I live in probably one of the biggest sports
I was
cities
I was gonna
in
bring sports up.
in
Yeah, because
America, and like, and I think like Phillies and Eagles fans get a bad rap,
well,
but
you win and then you burn everything down.
doesn't everybody do that?
No,
Oh, okay, well, whatever.
no.
Actually, Ryan George, we're promoting Ryan George again.
Oh yeah, I saw
He
that video.
released a video about what happens when your city's team, and it was clearly about Philadelphia.
Oh yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, our team won. Why are you setting the city on fire? Oh, we're just celebrating, we're just celebrating. And then like they retroactively said that they lost, and
Uh-huh.
then the fans like, oh, we gotta riot even harder.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think it's people just need something to feel passionate about,
Yeah, you attach to it.
and you feel like a part of a community, right? You feel like when I went to the game, in the playoffs for the Eagles, I didn't know anybody around me, but we were all there, like cheering for the Eagles, and we were all getting excited together. Like it's good to feel. Uh-oh, we lost them. R.I.P. You back?
Sorry. Yeah, we have some bad weather over here right now.
No, that's
So
right. Well, I don't know. I don't know where you got cut off, but I was just saying that like it feels good to feel like you're a part of a community,
yeah.
right? Like even when you're like a gamer and you see somebody like out in public and they're wearing like some gamer shirt,
Hmm.
like you could be like, "Oh, hey, I know that game." And
Right.
you might not know that person at all.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't do that because I don't leave my house.
Uh,
But I did go to Lego store over the weekend to get a Star Wars helmet. And there's a guy, we see him once a month because we go there first a month. We see him once a month. I don't even know his name. But we always talk to him.
yeah.
And I don't know, it just feels good to feel like you have something in common
Yeah.
with somebody else. And that is I think that is what's good about fandoms for sure. And
Yeah.
you just have to try to tune out anybody that's trying to like rip apart the thing that you really enjoy.
Well, a lot of fandoms too, I think it's just escapism. Like we
Yeah.
all need that. I will say though, what was the thing that you just said? Is like you need them to. What did you say?
Oh, I don't even know.
Okay, well,
I
what I
don't
was gonna
say
say
I
is
don't know
like,
if you need them.
yeah, like being part of a fandom is good, but when do you know? Like, oh, you were saying that if someone is like bringing that thing down, you shouldn't listen to them. But I guess another part of that is like, when do you know that you're lost in the sauce?
I just think like if you enjoy something,
Yeah.
I don't think you should try to I don't think other people should try to tear it, like make you not enjoy it. Unless it's Kirby, you should definitely not enjoy Kirby. That game sucks.
Jeez.
But I don't know. I definitely, I don't know if I've ever said like you're dumb for liking this thing.
Hmm.
And I know
Well, roll the clip.
for what, for Kirby, you are
I
dumb
don't
for
know for
doing that.
anything. Let's.
Yeah,
I'm
somebody will
sure there's
find.
been
I'm
a
sure it's out
lot.
there. I'm sure, but I'm
Yeah.
not like being serious. I try not to. I'm not. I don't seriously think you should stop liking something that
Yeah,
you're
I know you
passionate
use this
about.
a lot though, that you say that you're not serious and that's like why you do it on the internet. And if it's on the internet, you shouldn't take it as face value. But like that
You
is
shouldn't believe
our
anything on the internet.
value. Well, I agree with you, but like that's how this all starts.
I mean, you can't rely on others to make decisions for you. Like I don't like when people take an opinion from a bigger creator and they They're like, oh well, this guy said it, so it must be true.
Yeah, but that's a lot of fandoms, isn't it?
But
Like,
I mean, make up your own mind. I don't think Pokemon looks bad. I don't care what Wood Beat 'em Up says. I don't care what RGT says.
mhm.
I mean, I could agree with some things, but I'm not gonna have them change my opinion.
There was a series uh created by Donald Glover called Swarm, and it's on Amazon, and it was really good, but also it's like kind of psychologically kind of a horror series because it's about this person who's not like mentally all there. Like, she's just a huge fan of this artist named Nija, who is basically just a spinoff of, or not a spinoff, but is like supposed to be like Beyonce. And anytime that
Single ladies.
yeah, anytime that uh this girl hears that their favorite artist isn't Nija, she goes out and kills them. And I understand like this is very extreme,
Sheesh.
but the commentary on it is like, fans need to be better people. Just because like that's your celebrity or thing that you love, like, doesn't mean that you have to go to bat for it. But also on the celebrities end, like, you have to be responsible knowing how powerful you are in that, like, your fandom is. And I'm just thinking about like the Oscars were last night, and I know the Wicked community hated Amelia Perez, and I haven't seen it. I've heard things about it. So I understand maybe where people are coming from, but like, just because Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo were in Wicked, like, they were going to bat for them, and just like tearing others down. And that's the part of like fandoms that I really dislike. And it makes you almost like, if you are part of that fandom and other people are doing that, it almost like makes you embarrassed to be part of that community, even though this is a thing that you love. Like, people associate it with you. I can think of that with like Rick and Morty, right? Like, people loved Rick and Morty, and then they sold the Szechuan sauce at McDonald's, and people were like going crazy for it and stomping on the counters and things like that. And there's probably still people that enjoy Rick and Morty, but are probably embarrassed by the fandom.
Yeah, I mean, I think how people treat famous people is weird.
Mhm.
Like there are definitely, like, Taylor Swift's a big instance that I'm like, man, yeah, you're just acting weird. But I mean, I guess they are fans, but it feels like a little too far that, they care so much about, I don't know, what they're wearing, or, who they're, I don't even know. I just think they take it to a level that it's just like, why do we care about? Why do you care about this?
Yeah. But I mean, that's like our whole conversation is like, why do we care about gaming so much? Why do
Exactly. I'm
people
embarrassed for
like,
some gamers in this space, for sure. Gamers
mhm,
like Grums,
mhm.
JT Smash, and all those other grifters. I don't want them. I don't think they are considered. I don't consider them gamers. I want them out of the space. They're making it a horrible space for everybody. They're making it dangerous for a lot of people. So they need to get out of the fandom. Um, I just
I'll just say that you do have people that are listening to those creators because they are fans of the
Well,
content that they are
stop
putting
that.
out.
Stop.
So this is what I'm saying though, is like, it's just a double-edged sword. Like, I think
Not
fandom
really.
is,
Not really. Not when people are spreading hate. Not when people are spreading hate. It is not cool to like be, oh, I actually like them because I'm a fan of them. No, if they're spreading hate, no, I don't care. You're wrong. You're just wrong. If you listen to Grums or any of those other grifters, you're wrong. And like, I don't care if they're a fan of them. That actually makes it worse. Because how could you see what they spew on the internet and be like, oh yeah, I agree. Like, you're a terrible person.
I agree with you. I'm just saying that is part of being a fan. Like, even if someone is spreading hate through, like, when do you leave that fan or that fandom?
As soon as
Even
they
it.
start spreading hate,
So,
immediately.
for example, there was a Splatoon team that was spreading racism, and they won a
Yes.
championship. So I
Yes.
should leave. So I should
You should
leave
stop
this
supporting
fandom.
that team.
Well, I never did in the first place.
Yeah, I think it's
I just
fine to still like the Splatoon game,
But if it's associated with Splatoon,
but no, it's only that like esports team. It's not like they're not like in the game. Like if the
yeah,
game was spreading hate, then yeah, stop.
yeah, no,
Stop.
I get what you're saying.
But if it's just like a team, just like Grums and all those other grifters, like they just spread hate about every single game.
Hmm.
And I'm not going to stop liking a game because they say I should.
Hmm.
I'm more likely to enjoy a game that they say I should hate and not play a game that they recommend. Because I don't know, I think there's definitely like, these are just video games. Like you can enjoy the series for what it is, but if the series starts spreading hate, which I don't know if this has ever been the case, if they have ever like had hate in them, or like the creators, you actually do see it with some of the creators, like they there are some that there are stories about, a lot of misogyny, and then also like Activision was a big one with all the harassment. Then yeah, you should probably
Hmm.
not support them anymore. I mean, it's really your moral compass. How much can you support something that, like, what are you willing to risk? What values are you willing to get rid of because you like a video game series that really means nothing in the grand scheme of things? I could cut out any of these games whenever I want. Like if Nintendo starts spewing hate, I would drop them in a minute. But hopefully you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you've brought up a couple of times, and I'm trying to like bring this back to video games, but there have been like, what was the new Harry Potter game?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Right. And so that's a creator that is spreading hate, but then you still have people who are still attached to the fandom, don't associate themselves with the creator.
I don't know.
See what I'm saying? It's
No, I
but it's
understand. I
hard. It's
understand. They
hard.
always say you could separate the art from the artist, but it's J.K. Rowling is a terrible person. She is the creator of the Harry Potter series. She is intertwined with Harry Potter, so I will not support Harry Potter ever again.
And so
And I did for a
I
long
know.
time.
But then like the people that still like that series.
I mean, that's on them, right? I mean, that's not cool with me. Like, I don't think you should support that series. But that's really up to them to decide. Like, is this my line? Am I okay with this? And personally, I'm not okay with it. But that's up to everybody else.
Hmm.
I don't know. There are a ton of other things you could support.
Is it easier said than done to just let go of something that has been around since your childhood?
Yeah, I mean, sure, but if you really feel passionate about it, like if you really feel passionate about supporting like marginalized people,
Hmm.
then I think it's an easy call. to not support somebody that is actively hurting a marginalized group. And I know we're in like a this might feel political, and I don't care. I don't think it's a political issue. It's feeling more. I know they're making it a political issue. I just want people to treat others like they're human beings.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know why that's so hard.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
won't support until J.K. Rowling dies and like it because there's a lot it's very common for things to come out later, like Neil Gaiman. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yep.
He did
Yeah.
Sandman,
Sandman.
and some other things like oh god, he did some other things, but it came out that he has a lot of harassment suits against him. I won't
Mhm.
support his work anymore.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for me, it's an easy call. For me, it's a very easy call. Like, I could, we were big Harry Potter fans.
Mhm.
Went down to Universal, which I know I'm going down there anyway this month, but or next in May. But that's more for Super Nintendo World. But we went down there. We did all the Harry Potter stuff. We have a bunch of like photos and stuff and merch. Like, we used to do midnight releases. We used to do everything for Harry Potter. Like, Harry Potter was our thing. And
Mhm.
then, we couldn't support it anymore. So we went into Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. Like, there's so many other fandoms out there that you could get into
Yeah.
that you don't need. The one thing the one thing about fandoms is there's a lot of gatekeeping involved.
Mhm.
And I don't like gatekeeping. So I don't know why I'm talking about Pokemon a lot lately, but I'm talking about Pokemon a lot. But
Okay.
people even general gaming, people gatekeep. Like, if you like Animal Crossing, if that's like your main thing,
Oh, don't do this.
you might not be considered a real gamer because
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna bring up time traveling.
oh well, yeah, no, I mean, within fandoms there's like stigmas, like people that time travel versus that people that don't time travel.
Oh.
And I did lean into those back before Animal Crossing New Horizons came out. But Pokemon, there's like, you're not a real Pokemon fan if you don't EV and IV train. You're not a real Pokemon card collector if you
Well, I guess that's something like what makes someone a fan. How do you get your fandom card?
anything. If you like something, you're a fan.
So,
There's no like requirements that you have to hit. Like, you don't have to play a certain amount of the games. You don't have to, catch a certain amount of Pokemon.
yeah.
If you enjoy it, you're a fan.
So what do you have people who are fans that are saying like, that the game should be better, or they have opinions on the game. Does that not make them a fan anymore?
No, I said I did backtrack. I think it's okay to be frustrated with it, but you have to take it as it is. Like, they're not going to change the game. Like, that they're not going to change what it looks like. That is set in
Right.
stone now. You just have to hope for the next one. But if all you're going to do is complain about every single thing that Pokemon Company does without seeing any of the good parts, like, are you really a fan at that point? No.
You said, are they going to change the game? And it made me think of Sonic, the movie, where they did show us the trailer, and then the fans were like, no. And they were like, okay. And then they went back and they like fixed it, and they're like, here you go. Is this what you wanted?
I still think it's a publicity stunt. I still think
Do you really? There's
yeah.
no way, man. That's so much money.
Was it though? We don't know. Dude, I don't believe anything on the internet anymore. Don't believe anything on the internet.
How could you? Oh,
They
but
can make
like,
a trailer. A trailer is not that expensive to make.
are you kidding me?
I mean, it's not hundreds of millions of dollars. It could be a couple $1,000,000, but
Okay,
yeah.
but then you also have all of the marketing that is
Yeah,
being
but do you know
put
what the
out
marketing
for.
is? It could be all part of the marketing. They got a lot of people talking about it. A lot
I
of people
really
talking about it.
don't think that the first thing they thought about was like, let's make a really ugly looking Sonic, and then the fans will
Do you
complain, and
remember
we'll
what
make
some
a
of the
better
like
Sonic.
remember what some of the like old ads were for Sega? It was like, well, the Sega does what Nintendo don't. You know,
Yeah,
they did some edgy things back in the day. Like I could totally see them doing that. That is not
that's
out of
ridiculous.
that is not ridiculous. There are companies that have done way more, way worse for like stunts, PR stunts.
I there's no way, man. No way.
If they listen to the Sonic fandom, we get some really weird stuff. Really weird stuff.
What do you mean?
If you just look up Sonic fan art,
Oh, okay. Yes, I
yeah,
know what you mean. Yeah. But that's not what I was talking about. I was saying that they did listen to the fans and they gave them what they want.
supposedly.
Rather you think, God, dude, it's so much money.
We don't know that. We
And then
don't know that.
they had a set date, and then they had to push it back.
Movies get delayed all the time.
Not all the time.
They get delayed a lot. They get delayed a
Nowadays.
lot. And that could have all been part of the stunt too. Oh, we need an extra 6 months to tweak this. It's already built in. I don't trust anything or anyone ever.
It's very clear.
It's not it's a sad way to live, but it's
Yeah.
the only way I can live now because I can't trust anything anybody says. Like nothing is real. Especially on the internet. You could make anything on the internet these days.
I don't know if you listen to Bo Burnham, but he has a section in his show that's like, art is a lie, nothing is real.
I mean, it's probably true. A lot of
His whole segment is like how he has like a water bottle on a stool and he's doing like his stand-up routine and he accidentally knocks over his water bottle, but then it breaks into a song that's like he meant to knock the water bottle over, yeah, but you all thought it was an accident, and then art is a lie, nothing is real.
I wish I was dumb.
I bet we can have some people chime in on that.
I mean, I don't think I'm dumb. I'm highly educated. There are a lot of dumb people out there, and that's how we got ourselves into the situation that we're in.
Yeah.
Don't believe anything on the internet. That is.
Speaking of fandoms.
Oh, we started watching
Idiocracy.
Well, yeah, well that's yeah. No. But no, we started watching what's it called? Oh, it's a new show on Netflix. It has Kate Hudson. You might actually like it. It's
yeah, Running Point.
Yeah, Running Point. We started watching that.
We haven't started it yet, but yeah.
And something happened, and the one guy was like, "Yeah, just don't look at Reddit at all." And me and Kelsey were sitting there, and we're just like, "That's just good advice in general. Just don't look at Reddit or Twitter."
Yeah.
I don't know where this got, but yeah, fandoms.
I think it all just, even though yes, this is a video game podcast, I do think that it all comes together. You know, like it's you want to just stay in your bubble and enjoy that thing, but then when you have other fandoms, because of maybe the popularity has gotten so big now, like maybe it was so small that you loved it, and now the popularity is so big, you get all of these people that are coming in and saying exactly what they want it to be. Or
I'm an OG.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess
that's more gatekeeping right there.
I guess so.
You know what annoys me the most it's just like a thing that is a little tick in the back of my head whenever
What's
I
that?
hear it. It's back in my day, we didn't have things like this. Or like the
Uh-huh.
Pokemon cards again. Back in my day, we didn't have to deal with scalpers and Pokemon. Like I would just go to a store and there would be Pokemon cards there. Back in my day, we played outside.
Mhm.
I understand that like stuff might have been better back then, or might have been good back then, but it doesn't mean stuff is bad now.
Yeah.
And I just don't like when people talk that way.
It's just adapting to what is new.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think Pokemon, I think they did listen because it doesn't look like Scarlet and Violet. If it looked like Scarlet and Violet, then yeah, they didn't listen. But I don't think it does. And they probably already had that game in development before the whole Scarlet and Violet thing went down.
That's probably true.
And I doubt that we know they pushed it, they might have pushed it a year, so they probably didn't want to restart development and have a Metroid Prime 5 situation on our hands.
Yeah.
Or 4. Oh my god.
Which that
Oh my
that one is
god.
crazy because like that fandom, that was I mean, we just saw a splash screen and they were like, no, it's not good. We promise you.
Just trust us, bro.
Yeah.
But I mean, do people want Pokemon to take off like 5 years? Is that what people want? Or do they just want them to release at the same tandem but have higher quality, which I don't think is possible?
Yeah, I guess to answer that question, like if you are a true fan of Pokemon, you just want more of it. And I can say the same thing with like Splatoon. I want more. I know a lot of people compared the last game to like Splatoon 2, even though it has changes to it that make it a new game. But I also don't want them to rush out with Splatoon 4. Like I would be happy if I had it, but I
I mean,
also
we're already.
want them to
Is it gonna be 3 years this year, or is it 2 years?
from when
From
it came out.
Splatoon 3, yeah.
Came out in 2022.
Yeah, so like it's
So
gonna be
yeah,
3
3 years.
years, which it's not a long time for a game to be developed, but it is getting to that point where it's like, where is the next entry?
Yeah, I still feel like it's pretty fresh, and like I'm interested to see them take their time and whatever else is going to be in the next game. It's not something that I need right now, and maybe that's because I also have Splatoon 3 still. You know, like you still have these things that you can enjoy while you're waiting for like the next season, the next game, whatever it is. Like you if you are a fan, then you have the collection or have the means of enjoying that thing.
Yeah, and I think the people, I mean, it was probably people like me saying that Splatoon 3 is like Splatoon 2. Who I'm not a huge Splatoon fan. I do like Splatoon, but I'm not like, I don't get into the lore. I don't get into all that other stuff. I just, play it for a bit and that's it. So maybe to people like me that are more like casual with it, it does seem like
Yep.
the same thing, but more people that are like you that are more into the game itself,
Mm-hmm.
it is enough for you. And I feel like that's the same thing that's going on with Pokemon right now. Like I feel like I really enjoy Pokemon. I'm getting back. I'm definitely getting back into it more than I was previously, and it's enough. I just want another game,
Yeah.
and I don't need it to be this graphical marvel. I just want it to be fun to play. And I don't know. I don't think Pokemon has ever been about graphics, so it's weird that people care about graphics for Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it runs like crap, then yeah, I'll be upset. But I just want to play these games just like Mario. I would definitely take 3D Mario that sacrifices some quality to release more often.
But if they've already like set the standard for what a Mario game should look like, is that gonna upset you?
No, I mean, I just hope that the gap between the next Mario games is not 8 years or 7 years. Like, I'm okay with 3, 4 years. It's just been really long. Um, Same with Zelda. Like, I hope we get a full fledged adventure in the
Mhm.
next couple of years, as opposed to, like, we even had to wait 5 years for. I think my approach to fandom and being a fan of something is I do want more. I just want it more often. I don't need it
Mhm.
like all the time, but I do like to have it. Like, I don't want to forget about it. And I
Hmm.
forget Odyssey. I know I could play it, but I forget it. I forget what it was.
Because you didn't enjoy it,
No, I
or
did
what?
enjoy it, but it was just so long ago. Like, do you remember everything that you played 8 years ago? Like, if you
Uh,
played a game 8 years ago, do you remember
yeah.
every story beat and everything that has to do
No,
with
but I
it?
can. I mean, I could say that I probably remember a good bit of Mario Odyssey.
I mean, I probably do too, but it's just, it's like getting out. I don't know. It's just, I just want more of it. I just want more. I want more Mario.
I think what you're trying to say though is, and this is interesting because it's like you want more of it so you don't grow out of it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't think I'll ever grow out of Mario and Zelda. I think I even proved it in my life. When I went to college, I essentially stopped playing Nintendo games. I fell out, I was out of it for like 4 or 5 years, and then after college, I bought a 3DS, and I got back into Mario, and I've been
Mhm.
like Nintendo ever since.
Mhm.
And that was 15 years ago now. I mean, it's only one Mario game, but
Yeah.
it's two Mario. It's two, three. I don't know.
What was
Two.
it? What was the first one?
Well, I played Super Mario 3D Land, so I guess that counts, right?
Yep.
And then you have 3D World that came out
Yep.
on Wii U, and then you have Odyssey.
Yeah. So.
That is so disappointing when you think of it that way. That's even worse. Three every 15 years?
And this is where we break John Ebo as a Mario fan.
Three every 15 years. That sucks.
Well, I mean, they had new Super Mario Bros. U.
No, 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 it's 3D
Oh,
Mario.
caveats.
And it's not even you could even argue that 3D Land and 3D World aren't 3D Marios.
Mm,
They are
yeah.
made by that team, so I count them,
Hmm.
and they are fantastic games.
Hmm.
But even if you add 2D Marios into that, you have New Super Mario Bros. U and Wonder. That's it.
Yeah,
Unless you
because
count Mario Maker, but I don't know. I don't know if you count that.
well, we would have been before the 3DS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
People say that Nintendo relies on Mario. They really don't.
I mean, they do
I mean, for
outside of
other games,
yes,
their
yes.
platform. Oh, now I'm even more upset.
Oh, he's a fan. You hear it, everybody? Listen to how much he loves
Oh,
it.
I do love it. I want more of it.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Marvel. I still love Marvel. I think Marvel's still. I went to see Captain America. It was okay. I think they just need to stop for a little bit and then
Whoa. And like Cook?
Yeah, I think they need to. Well, I think they just have to make up their mind on what they're
So it's
doing.
okay for things to.
Oh, wait, hold on. So did you see the leaks for
I,
Doomsday?
I I did see the
The
leaks.
leaks for Doomsday? Feige leaked
Yeah,
those himself for sure.
yeah. I mean, we know Marvel does that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Spider-Man: No Way
they're
Home.
gauging is gonna what hit and what doesn't hit.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't believe that those are leaks, like actual leaks at all.
yeah,
I just thought it was
yeah,
funny because we talked about leaks, a few
yeah.
weeks ago, and like they definitely leaked it themselves.
Yeah.
But I I am passionate about stuff, and
Hmm.
I think that's okay. I think as long as you're not hurting anybody,
Tearing others down.
tearing others down,
Yeah.
like be a fan. It's fun. It's fun. Like some of
Yeah.
the best things that you can do is like have a conversation with somebody that enjoys something else, something that you like.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes you feel less alone.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean it's just that weird thing that you never thought that you could have a conversation with somebody else and then you're like, "Oh, you also like that's the I remember having that conversation with someone at not this Super Bowl party, but the last Super Bowl. Um someone was wearing a Zelda shirt and a Mario hat, or no, I think it was like a one piece sweater and then a Mario hat or something like that. And so we just hit it off because that's just a good icebreaker. Like that's the things that I like. And so we started talking about it.
Yeah. No, and it's just easy. Like it's easy to have a conversation about something like that. I'm very bad with like I don't know, normal conversations. Like I don't
Like talking to
like
people
talking.
in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if they man, I went
Not
to
over the internet.
I went to like a party. Like this was a few years ago. I went to a party, and
Mhm,
these I did not have anything in common with these people. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, man, this sucks.
mhm.
So then you have to resort to like that's it's part of the reason why I like. I mean, I do like sports and Eagles and Phillies and stuff, but it does help you in like everyday conversations
Yeah.
because not everybody is a fan of video games, but there are you probably find more fans of sports out there,
Mhm.
and it's just easier to have a conversation like at work about that than like nobody's gonna talk to me about Pokemon at work.
Maybe.
Maybe,
Never know.
who knows? But we're at hour and 20 minutes. I don't even know. I don't even know what the conversation was.
No, I think it's good because like I think it opens a lot of questions about, like should you enjoy things? Yes, the answer is yes, but it's it's
Yeah,
hard because then you like I think we named off all of the examples as to why fandoms are good and why they are bad.
yeah, and a lot of things are better when you don't have somebody in your ear telling you they suck.